still awake. And I'm honored that you took the time to be here. And look, the votes, goes without saying, the votes are still being counted. And clearly your voices are still being heard. But a few minutes ago, I received a very generous call from John Cox. We congratulated each other on a hard-fought race, and now I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Because you stood for courage for a change. And now I can stand before you knowing I will have the incredible privilege of serving as your next governor. But this victory is really your victory. Because of you, the future belongs to California. It's been a tough 2 years, but tonight, America's biggest state is making the biggest statement in America. We're saying unmistakably and in unison that it's time to roll the credits on the politics of chaos and the politics of cruelty. Now is time for going far and going together. Now is the time for decency, for facts, for trust, and now is the time for truth. Now is time for leaders to lead. And to those agents of anger determined to divide us instead of unite us, it's time to pack it up and for you to pack it in. This, in every way, shape, or form, is California's moment. And to those who wonder whether polarization is permanent, who think today's big dreams are tomorrow's broken promises, who question whether a 40 million person melting pot of different faiths, different families and futures can live and prosper together, California is your answer. The sun is rising in the west and the arc of history is bending in our direction. Because this is not just a state of resistance, California is a state of results. California is America's coming attraction, a rocket-fueled engine of human industry and innovation, the nation's greatest job creator, and the 5th largest economy in the world. But the true genius of California isn't the value we work for, it's the values we fight for. This is a state where, we don't criminalize diversity, we celebrate diversity. We don't reject, we protect the most vulnerable. We don't put profit and loss ahead of clean air. We don't put profit and loss ahead of clean water and clean coastlines. We don't regulate a woman's body more than we regulate assault weapons on our streets. We don't demean, we don't discriminate, and we don't demoralize. We don't separate families, and we don't lock kids in cages. At our best, we always stand up, we step in, and we fight for what's right. See, there's a reason why California's dream is America's leading brand. Because California's dream has always been, and always will be, too big to fail and too powerful to bully. And here's the thing. The California dream, it's not binary. Every day we show how human endeavor can be both lucrative and inclusive. They aren't mutually exclusive. We don't just want success in the right hands, we want it in everybody's hands. But let's be honest, there's no doubt about this, the dream is still too distant for too many. We're a land of plenty, but we are far from perfect. Too many Californians are being priced out of housing, healthcare, and higher education. Too many workers are feeling the ever-tightening squeeze of automation and wage stagnation. Too many children are growing up in poverty and starting school from behind. In many ways, in many places, we are simultaneously the richest and the poorest state. But after traveling California from region to region in a bus fueled by perpetual optimism, I'm more convinced than ever there's no problem in California that isn't somehow, somewhere, being solved by a Californian. That's what Californians do. Right? We're the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. Californians by birth, Californians by choice, every generation, overcoming every conceivable border and bias, all part of the same journey to ascend and succeed together. Over our own journey, in the course of this campaign, I've seen it in the hopeful faces of many. I've heard it in their indelible personal stories. I've seen it in the donut store owner in Garden Grove beaming with pride because his daughter was the first in their family to attend college. I've seen it in Miss Jackie, the union home care worker in Lancaster, who dedicates her life to helping other human beings live their final days in dignity. I've seen it in Greg, an heroic homeless veteran just a few weeks back, after years and years of struggle with addiction, has found a new path thanks to treatment and job training. And I've seen it in the bravery of Elizabeth, an 8-year-old girl in Fresno who raised her hand at my town hall and asked not about herself, but what she can do to protect her friends in the case of a school shooting. It's what this campaign's all about. It's about advancing all Californians on their journey by making this a place of equality, making California a place of opportunity, safety, and affordability for everyone. We can make their dream real, but only if we have the courage of our convictions, the courage to dream bigger and demand more, the courage to be a state of results and a state of refuge. I've listened and I've learned from Californians of every walk of life, because I know that starting tomorrow, the hard work truly begins. But tonight, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude, and I'm humbled. I'm humbled to accept this awesome responsibility, because I know what we can accomplish working together, transforming the politically impossible into the practically inevitable. There are so many stars, so many California stars in this room tonight, too many to name, too many to enumerate. But I want to take a moment of personal privilege and mention just a few who've shined brightest for me when I needed the most, starting with my wife, Jen, a real-life Wonder Woman. Jen, who fights every day for a world where children can live free of stereotype and social inequality while being the incredible mother of our 4 remarkable children. To all my friends and family who have been there for me, many dating back to the not-so-distant days as a struggling kid with an undiagnosed reading disorder and an especially bad haircut. I still have dyslexia, and Lord knows the jury's still out on the hair. But because of their urging and unconditional support, I grew up with the audacity to think I could make a difference and the humility to know I couldn't do it alone. And as always, politics is a team sport. And I want to thank my campaign team, the best in the business. Thank you guys. As well as the incomparable army of the grassroots supporters, organizers, all those texters who were the lifeblood of this campaign. You know who you are. Thank you for your great work. I also, because I've seen so many of them, I want to thank and salute all the state legislators who are here and every public servant elected across this state tonight. We're going to serve in different branches of government, but we share the same California name on the front of our jerseys. You know, there's a famous quote, all of you know this, that we should not go where the path may lead. Don't go there, but instead go where there's no path and leave a trail. For literally my entire life, Governor Jerry Brown has been blazing his trail as a pioneer of progress for this state. He's been a role model for me, and tonight we all owe him a profound debt of gratitude.